Hi, this is Dr. Victoria Skirbo, speaking to you as always from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today I want to talk about a very powerful and potent full moon that is occurring on January 12th. This is the full moon in the sign of Cancer. And what makes this full moon especially potent is that the full moon axis, the moon at 23 degrees of Cancer, the sun at 23 degrees of Capricorn, are part of a grand cardinal square in the sky. The other points of this grand cardinal square is Jupiter at 22 degrees of, or is it 23? At 23 degrees of Libra. And opposite that, Uranus at 21 degrees of Aries. We have Ceres at 25 degrees of Aries, and we have Eris at about 22 degrees of Aries, 23 degrees of Aries. And so the sun in Capricorn is conjunct Pluto. It just had its annual Sun-Pluto conjunction on the 7th, so that was only 5 days ago. And now the sun is moving away from Pluto as it starts its journey around the 360 degree zodiac. And so we are taking action on what was illuminated at the conjunction. Let's go back to that conjunction just a little bit. The sun is the largest thing in our solar system. Of course, it's the center, it's the life giver, and so anything it touches it really gives life to. And with the conjunction to Pluto, which is our more unconscious parts of ourselves, for evolutionary astrologists like myself, it is the representation of the soul, that eternal part of us. But it's also representative of what is hidden and the shadow parts of ourselves. So when the sun makes a conjunction to Pluto, the shadow does come out. The shadow material is lit up, and it's lit up for us to see, to feel, to understand, and to heal. Because the shadow is simply really kind of stuck light, as it were. And so as everything is light, and we are living a dual universe, and so we have light and dark, but everything is really source, everything is God, Goddess, so it all serves in some way. And so we have this very powerful Pluto Sun conjunction, and it is in a new phase, so it has an Aryan energy, so there is an aggressiveness to this. And we can look at the sun, and we can look at Pluto, we can look at the sun as those people in charge. It's very egocentric as an energy, very self-absorbed, and so we have with Pluto there is a real energy of sort of self-absorption, power. I have all the power. I am the mighty Oz. That kind of energy, and yet because of the Aries overlay of their conjunction, it really is coming from a very gut level, instinctual place. And then we take the moon, which is in mundane astrology often associated with the masses and the people, and we have that in Cancer. 23 degrees of Cancer. Cancer is a very, very sensitive point. And Cancer's ruling planet is the moon. So the emotional tenure, I think that's the word I want to use. If it's not, I apologize. Of the moon in Cancer is one of great power and great angst and possibly great fear. And so we find ourselves at this tipping point, this point of awareness with the moon and sun, where we have those in power and then we have the rest of us. And so that isn't enough. We have two more points on the cardinal square, and that is Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter is about expansion. It's about expanding our understanding, and in Libra it's really about expanding our understanding of each other. With Jupiter in Libra, we are required to dialogue and we are required to listen. Opposite that, we have Uranus in Aries. Now, Uranus in Aries is a very transformational energy. It can be a very positive experience, and it can be a very negative experience, but it is uncertain, and we never really know how it's going to react or act. But in Aries, it is very much self-involved, we'll say. And it is also, Uranus in Aries is the I am presence. So it's not just, it's all about me, but it also connects us with our higher spiritual self, really. And that comes up against the Jupiter. Jupiter is also laws, the laws of the land. And so this is a very, very we're at a crossroads. I couldn't find the word. We're at a crossroads right now. Now what, and then we can't forget Ceres, which is the asteroid associated with Mother Earth and the nurturing, the feminine. In Aries, she becomes the warrior. And so we can see that in the conversations that we're having, right, in the culture. And then we also have Eris. And Eris is a revolutionary energy. We don't know that much about Eris. It was only, it was actually discovered, I think, in 2005. And Eris is very disruptive. And so when you take disruptive Uranus and you connect it with disruptive Eris, and you connect it with the Mother Earth, yikes! So these are the energies that we're dealing with on this full moon. And so those 4 points, 4+ points, actually create a square. And if you were to look at a chart, you would see that there are 4 points to a square, and that is a grand cardinal square. Cardinal is always about initiation. And so what is going on with this full moon is that we are leveling up. We are being initiated to a new level of awareness, to a new energetic level. And it's about really starting things and really moving forward because of the cardinality, because we're in a 1 year. Remember, in 2017, we moved into a 10-1 year. And in numerology, it's associated with Jupiter, which is part of this square. And then also in the tarot, it's the Wheel of Fortune. And so fortunes are going to turn on a dime. So this is a very exciting and a very scary time to be alive. But know that we have an opportunity to move up a level, an energetic level. You can probably already feel it. Now, everybody moves up together. And so for those of us who are familiar with moving up energetic levels, it's hard enough. But for those who are not, it can be very scary. So I think the best energy to keep with this full moon is to stay as centered as you can. Stay in the center of the wheel and watch the wheel go round. And whatever you can do to calm and quell people's fear, do that. As you know, some people want to be afraid. Some people don't know how to be anything but afraid. So we have to allow people their process as well. So just stay safe. Things are very, very intense right now, and this really starts the ball rolling. Mercury is direct now, so our minds are starting to move forward as well. And also, in this full moon, there is something else that's not associated with this grand cardinal square, but there is a square between Chiron in Pisces and Saturn in Sagittarius, and it is a last quarter crisis in consciousness square, and it is dealing with how authority wounds us. And so now we have an opportunity to change that. We also could be rewounded or re-traumatized, and that is not what we want to do. We want to claim our power, and the greatest power we know is the power of love, and that's what I want to leave you with. It is the power of love and connection and dialogue and talking to people who are willing to listen, so that we can work together to move through this very, very challenging time in our history as the old falls away and the new is being born. So you have yourself a great full moon. Be careful out there. It is a little bit nuts. And I wish you all peace and love and hope. And if you enjoy this, please press the like button. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Contact me if you like at Vicki, Vicki, at theseedsoftransformation.com. Peace.